the Pit and Paddock Racing Show. It was racing's last biggest weekend, beginning with Formula One in Monaco for the annual Memorial Day Parade that gave us exactly what we expected. The top drivers finished exactly as they qualified. Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, all on the podium with no passing except for pit stops.
You had to crash into somebody to pass?
Yeah.
Or go off the thing and come back?
I was thinking about Monaco upgrades for my car, which is a reinforced front wing / bumper bar.
That's what I'd do. Well, before we dive into that fascinating race, let's roll back to the real competition, qualifying. Ferrari was surprisingly strong at Monaco. I don't know why. But they found a new way to fail. Bad advice.
Hamilton got a 3-spot penalty after his team said he could re-enter the racing line only to impede Verstappen.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
What they said, Verstappen's slowing down, you can go. And then he went, and then he impeded Verstappen. Good job.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Was that a little harsh? 3 grid spots? Because it had no effect on the outcome. It was Q2.
No, and it had no effect. Max is just whining. Also, it seems like everyone on the track is impeding everyone else all the time. So, what's the difference?
It's like holding in the NFL.
Every single play.
It's always holding.
It's just if are we going to call it or not.
It was a rough qualifying session for Mercedes. Kimi crashed, and then Russell's battery decided to quit working. And he even turned it off and turned it back on again.
Oh.
And he was still out.
Did he wait 10 seconds?
I don't think he waited 10 seconds.
There it is. Lance Stroll didn't want anyone to forget that he is Lance Stroll and had 3 pre-race incidents.
He's what we call the reverse DEI driver. He gets a spot because he is privileged.
There it is. That's the one.
See, it's coming back around. It's like boomeranging. Anyway, on to the race. Where did anything interesting actually happen in the race?
Relatively, I guess. Gasly ended his race early when he tried to bump draft Yuki.
Wait, is that a Pokemon? Gasly?
Yeah, I think they both are.
Okay. He talks like a Pokemon.
Lap 19, Hamilton managed to undercut Haji and gain a spot.
Rare Ferrari strategy move. Strategy only works with Hamilton or if it's Sainz and he calls his own strategy.
He's going to be a strategist when he retires.
Yeah.
Lap 41, Alonso's wonderful season continued with his car failing.
He has 0 points.
Wow. Does Stroll have... Why did I even ask that?
Does Stroll ever have points?
Yes. What a stupid question.
My highlight of the race would be lap 51. Russell cuts the chicane to pass Albon, the tie driver. Team tells him he's going to have to give it back. Russell instead says, I'll take the penalty, thinking they're going to give him a 5-second. But race control decides you get a drive-through penalty.
I bet. That's what he gets for saying I'll take the penalty on the radio. He should have just been like, oops, mistake.
He should have just said, no, that was a clean pass, and kept going.
Clean pass. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong, and they would have added it on at the end.
He forced me off by braking erratically. Did something.
I think I found my new Monaco passing strategy. That was clean. That was totally clean. Just straight through that chicane out of the tunnel.
Why do they even have that chicane?
I hate it so much. If they got rid of that, we would actually have a passing zone down into the end of that straightaway.
Can't have that at Monaco.
I think it's that middle of the road that's straight ahead out of the tunnel. It's just the end of a...
The concrete divider?
Yeah.
Take that thing out.
Take it out for the race and
yeah.
Put like some sort of diagonal, less impact something rather than just adding more stops.
As always, Monaco, the most boring race of the season, so F1 instituted a 3-tire set minimum rule this time. Did it help?
No.
The
commentators were trying to sell it by saying the top drivers were racing harder the entire race, but okay.
No.
No.
All it did was make teams team up. So if you had two teammates together, the one in the back would slow down so that the one in front could get a clean stop, and then they'd switch places and do it the other way. You're talking about some of the smartest engineers in the world. They're going to figure out a way to negate your tricksy little 3-tire rule. Monaco is not on the calendar next year, or not on the calendar for Memorial Day.
No, they've moved it a week back, I heard.
Yeah, only a week? So
yes, it'll be the weekend after Memorial Day,
so
I believe.
Is there another race on Memorial Day, or are they going to have a week off?
Week off, so that all the F1 drivers can come run Indy? Is that...
Okay.
That would be fun.
You know what? That's a good point. F1 drivers could run the Indy 500.
I hear a lot of them complain that they're afraid of the oval, though, so...
Not Fernando Alonso.
No, maybe he'll come back. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I liked it when Fernando... Of course, he got a Honda engine again, and Honda engines don't like him.
No, they don't. At least I could sleep in next year. That's nice.
I did learn that one of the reasons they still have Monaco is not for the awesome, spectacular racing, but because sponsors love to go to Monaco.
Good.
And a lot of deals get done at the Monaco race, so that's why it's still there.
I'm sure we can adjust something here around the track, or make the car smaller again.
Follow the money.
Yeah.
And it explains everything.
Well, thankfully that race is over. And
in more ways than one.
Coming up next week is Spain and the new flexi-wing enforcement rule.
So, why, and flexi-wing for the non-F1 people is McLaren seems to have a wing that moves in certain ways that it maybe really shouldn't move. And so they issued a clarification, they didn't issue a rule change, clarification.
Yes.
Which is supposed to get rid of the McLaren flexi wing, but why did they wait 5 races to implement it?
I don't know. They wanted McLaren to get a nice solid lead in before, or maybe it gives the teams a chance to build new wings, because I don't know. I think they could have been less than 5 races to fix that.
You know what? They didn't give Ferrari 5 races when they found out that they were doing something that they shouldn't have done, that we still don't know what it is because there's a non-disclosure agreement.
Is that coming out with the Kennedy files?
Yes.
No.
Yes, and the Epstein client list. That'll all come out together.
Oh, good. I'll wait. I'll wait for that.
On to IndyCar, where it was another Indy 500 and another Pablo win. And I, quite frankly, am tired of this Pablo character winning all the races. 5 in a row? Impossible. I smell skullduggery. Did Ganassi hire some Penske engineers, or join the Illuminati, or donate money to certain electronic voting machine company? I demand a full investigation, Senator.
Is it time to let other teams cheat now?
It hasn't worked for Penske.
No. It's like they already jumped on board. Oh, and apparently so did Andretti and Prima.
Yeah. What was wrong with Andretti's car?
I don't know. I just know that they got sent to the back of the field.
Oh, that was Ericsson, the guy that finished second, who, if he had managed to not let Pablo pass him, still would have been disqualified, and it would have been Pablo later.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a mess that would be, though, if the winner got removed.
Oops. Well, they do need some drama at IndyCar. Trying to bring in that younger viewership.
No, there you
go. Well, it was IndyCar, which is the one race that all the sponsors care about.
Talking about the Wiener 500 on Carb Day?
At least Pablo didn't win that one. That was kind of cool watching all the... Were they like restored classic Wiener cars?
They said that was all of the ones that they have. They brought them to the track.
Like, are they still out doing Wiener marketing? Or?
I think so. They just have them around the country most of the time doing Wiener stuff.
I was looking at the underlying car that the big Wiener's on, and it looked very 60s, just like the...
I'm sure they've been around for a long time.
That's what I'm wondering, if they're just the same ones that they were using before we were born.
Probably. It didn't look like they were going too quick out there.
Well, at least the finish to the Wiener race was better than the actual Indy 500.
Rigged. I think it was rigged. Well, on to the race here. We'll start before the race even started, I guess, when Scotty Mack went home early, crashing into the wall while warming up his tires on the pace laps.
What? Do they? How do you crash? I mean, I get it. They're going like 60 something, right?
Yeah, but man, that sucks.
At least he didn't take anyone else out with him.
Ooh, that's just.
He got a call from Haji later to console him.
Man. And the Indy 500 too, not some random other race.
Yeah, it wasn't like the Milwaukee race or something.
And for some reason, Scott Dixon's car was on fire. And out of the hundreds of Fox cameras that we had to resort to an in-car camera to show us what was going on.
Yeah. We have 25 cameras. You know what? They had those in-helmet cams.
Oh, yeah, I like those ones.
Yeah, the announcers that were former drivers were saying that, oh, this is great. Oh, that makes me feel like I'm actually out there racing again. And then I don't think they ever showed it during the race. Like, maybe once or twice.
No, I want to see the replay from the start and what that kind of looks like. I bet that was intense. So, immediately after the green flag drops, Marco Andretti decides to crash into the wall.
You know, they said this was the coldest race since 1992, which had a lot of early spins as well.
No, it's climate change for you.
That's climate change.
Yeah.
Ray Hall restarted with the parking brake on and went back like a rock. And then Herta got hit for pit lane speeding. So not a good day for legacy drivers.
I don't know, man. Seriously, how is Sato so good in Ray Hall equipment? And the rest of the team is just ass.
We should ask Honda.
I wonder if Honda knows.
Yeah, maybe. Last year, Ray Hall said something about Sato getting a new engine from Honda, and he wishes he had that engine.
He was probably chastised behind the scenes for saying anything that.
You want to get a sponsorship? You might not want to say that again.
On to lap 74, where Rossi starts the Memorial Day barbecue early with a fuel fire. And then the fuel man tried his best Romain Grosjean impression, setting his hands ablaze.
Yeah, he was still working the fire extinguisher, though.
Yeah.
Hands burning.
Still spraying, and then he's like, oh. Yeah. Sprays it on his hands. Got it.
Then lap 82, Rinus VeeKay, the driver whose name sounds like an adult store purchase, spins getting on pit road. And I didn't realize he was on pit road the first time I saw it. I'm like, wait, but he spun on pit road?
You see, they showed a view from behind, and there's the people on pit road watching, going like,
uh-oh.
I'm like getting over the wall now.
Slow motion running. So Will Buxom's first Indy 500 announcer, I like Will, but he's a bit dramatic for a full announcer position.
He brings some of that drive to survive energy, where everything is the most dramatic thing to happen. He'll get the hang of it, I hope.
God, I hope so.
Lap 89, Israeli driver Robert Schwartzman mistakes his pit crew for a Hamas squad and drives them directly into the wall. That was an interesting choice.
Bowling for crew members.
I'm sorry, it looked like you had that scarf on there, guys.
Yeah.
On the next restart, Kyle Larson decides it's time to go to Charlotte, so he spins out and takes out Kiffin Simpson and Stingray.
How did he spin out?
It looked like he downshifted too early going into the turn, and it loosened up the back end of his car.
Different than a stock car.
Bit of a rookie move. What happens in your second IndyCar race? Lap 106, restart. Crashmussen does his damnedest to crash, but he can't quite pull it off. Everything but crashing.
Stingray and Rasmussen are like the Beavis and Butthead of IndyCar.
It's always them, it seems like. Something.
Oh, it's you two again.
They have improved this year quite a bit, though, when we had a no caution run for a while. Lap 110. Connor Daly decides that he's going to be leading the Indy 500 with a move without lifting through turn 1. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And then Newgarden's dream of a three-peat went up in smoke faster than Team Penske's credibility after losing fuel pressure.
Fuel pump.
Yep, lost the fuel pump. Bit of a tough week for Penske.
Yeah.
All together. Everything.
That's karma. And then 13 to go. Pablo catches Ericsson napping and goes to the lead, and that was the ball game, and it was all over. Good job, Ericsson.
Great job, guy. Award chastise Ericsson for letting Pablo by so easily.
He didn't, he had no idea Pablo was coming. Doesn't he have a spotter?
He should. Everyone should.
Yeah. No block moves, no nothing, just, pulled over and let him go by for the win.
I think he would just slingshot by him with like last year happened.
Let's see. Ericsson easily lets Pablo by, and then for good measure makes sure his car won't pass inspection. That's why I said full investigation.
And Pato gets another second place in the Indy 500.
Was this part of the deal that Honda insisted on to stay in the sport?
Really giving Honda a lot of stuff to stay in the sport.
Yeah. I'm thinking IndyCar needs a few goon drivers to just take Pablo out, like in hockey.
They need more, qualify in someone 33rd and just have him out there to impede.
And by the way, what was with Ericsson's car? The purple Allegra livery? His teammate looked like they just borrowed some guys from the Barney the Dinosaur set and brought him over.
the pit crew down there. That was pretty. I think I saw one scheme like that in NASCAR too. Terrible looking.
You should not have purple in race cars.
Not really. Was it like the last 10 laps or so that they had the two lap cars in front of the leader, making sure that Pablo had someone to draft off of? That's probably most of the reason Ericsson couldn't get back by him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He had to get around those cars anyway, and yeah.
Can we blue flag out there? Can we get these guys out of the way? We're trying to race the Indy 500, not who's last on the lead lap for the Indy 500.
3 things that let Pablo win the race easily.
Was Penske trying to make up for all their cheating by letting Chip have a win? Well, in other news, Team Penske fired their top 3 managers, Tim Cindric, Brzezinski, and Moyer, after the qualifying cock-up that resulted in 2 of the cars being sent to the rear of the field. Tim Cindric is the father of Austin Cindric, who drives for Penske in NASCAR. When asked if he was upset, Austin Cindric said he'd never heard of him and the name is just a coincidence. He drives for Team Penske in NASCAR.
Wasn't me.
Who? I don't know him. I have nothing to do with it.
Are you upset your father got fired? Who? I don't have a father.
No.
Honda is threatening to leave the series after 2026 unless IndyCar owner Penske divests itself from the IndyCar rules enforcement. Penske's been caught 3 times in the past 2 years cheating: St. Pete, Long Beach, and this Indy.
I don't know what Honda's all up in arms about. They forced this hybrid on everyone by threatening to leave a couple years ago, and they get it. Now they're going to find another reason to threaten to leave. Kind of like, just go if you're going to keep complaining about things.
Maybe we can get Ford in here instead of Honda.
If they're going to hold the series hostage every time, it's like, just get a spec Cosworth engine or something.
Yeah.
For a while.
Is the hybrid engine do anything to help the series?
I don't think so. It just makes the cars heavier. It seemed like it didn't make the race any better. Did it?
No, I forgot that there was hybrid out there. What difference did it make?
No, it accomplishes the same thing as the push to pass, where you get a turbo boost for, I don't know, a few seconds.
Yeah.
Why do we need to have a hybrid with an extra 100 pounds to do that?
Apparently, Ericsson didn't know where the hybrid button was at.
Oh.
At the end.
They should have put a little star on it.
Yeah. Push here to win race.
No, thank you. Coming up next for IndyCar, the probably Palou Grand Prix of Detroit.
You know what? I keep hoping our annual Michigan trip coincides with the IndyCar race, but it never quite works out, so I gotta work on that.
Give Roger a call. Maybe he'll move the race next year.
Oh, yeah. I think we're going up, towards the end of June. We're going to Michigan to get out of the brutal heat. So it'd be great if the Detroit Grand Prix was going on.
That would be fun.
especially downtown Detroit. You know they have a lot of museums. They got close to selling most of their great artworks, but remember when Detroit was going bankrupt back in like '08?
Is it still?
No, I think they pulled out. I don't know what they did. I think they just defaulted on a lot of debt and said, sue us.
And then raised taxes.
Yeah. Although, you know what? Belle Isle is pretty close to downtown Detroit where they used to have it.
Yeah, I know. It seemed like a fine enough track. I guess it's kind of paying to get out a bunch of people out there. You got to shuttle everyone out there, I guess.
Well, there's like a bridge across, but yeah, it's kind of a narrow entry, like one way in and out of that place. But it was fun. Like I went there like a month after the race. You could still see all the rubber down on the roads around there because they don't get driven a lot.
Downtown Detroit?
No, the Belle Isle.
Oh,
like not a lot of people drive around Belle Isle. It's just a big park.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That fountain. Do you see the fountain down there where everyone used to swim in?
Yeah. I stuck my hand in the fountain. I didn't jump in the fountain.
No. Record it next time. Jumping in the fountain. The weekend wrapped up with NASCAR at Charlotte for the 24 Hours of Coke.
Was Hunter Biden there?
No, I don't think so.
He would have been a good Grand Marshal for the 24 Hours of Coke.
Maybe that was poorly worded. Lucky Lord Byron ended up leading all day, right up until it mattered. With 6 to go, Byron coughed up the lead to Chastain and finished a disappointing second after leading the entire day.
Yeah, he won every stage.
3 stages in this race he won, and then laps to go, coughed up the win.
It was a lot of Lord Byron until it wasn't. What was it? The laugh traffic that did him at the end there?
I'm gonna blame Logano, who was trying to avoid going a lap down with like 4 or 5 laps left in the race.
Like it mattered.
Chastain get by. I think he was just cranky from getting moved by Bell last week still. Well, early in the race, Kyle Larson got into the lead. Somebody forgot to tell him that the big double doesn't mean crashing in both races, because he ended up 43rd.
Oh. The big double isn't for everybody, Kyle.
Give it another try. Maybe this time you'll get it. Man,
you know...
Rough luck for him.
It can't be easy to go from stock car to, suddenly I gotta remember how an Indy car feels, to, now I gotta go back to a stock car. That's gotta be the hard part.
Just a completely different feel.
Yeah.
Bowman spun to end stage 1, and shockingly, Lucky Lord Byron wins the first of his 3-stage victories.
What's with the Mario Kart graphics on the restart zone? They had like a bunch of green arrows, like...
Go!
Yeah.
I like to think it's like a super boost.
That's what I'd look like, huh? Oh, run over the arrows and you go faster.
What is it, the auto zone, restart zone, or whatever? Geico? I don't know. It's always someone who sponsors the zone.
I wonder what it costs to get a pit and paddock pit lane. That would be cool.
I don't think I have the money for that quite yet.
It could be, Larson enters the pit and paddock pit lane. They have to say that for every driver. And then a QR code flashes up on the screen when they say the words pit and paddock.
It's less annoying than the Capital One white flag or whatever they do at the end of the race there. God. Lap 112, Connor Zelich, Jimmy Johnson, and your boy Cold Custard all crash disappointingly.
Cold Custard's been kind of disappointing all year.
Yeah. What's with the Texas A&M paint scheme? Where'd that come from? It's kind of a weird choice.
I heard some Harvard money got transferred over to Texas A&M and they used it to sponsor a NASCAR team.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Lap 200, the field stopped for a moment of silence.
Adam Alexander needs a cone of silence. Man, I don't know. What did you think of Amazon coverage?
I liked it better than Fox. More so towards the commercials aired during the race. I like Steve Letarte, the pit crew or the crew chief guy. He was a lot better technically, and telling you strategies and stuff like that. Fox usually kind of skips over that part of the race a little bit.
He's pretty easy to come up with a nickname for, though.
Who?
Steve Letarte.
I'm gonna put my mind to work on that one.
What could his nickname be? Yeah, it's almost as tough as Olivier Panis.
Well, on the restart, after the moment of silence, it was time for the Kyle Busch spins caution.
Bad luck, Busch.
Every race.
Every race he spins. He got in a contract extension.
Yep. Another, I don't know, they didn't say how many years, but some years.
Maybe he brings a big sponsor.
And he's Kyle Busch too, I guess.
Yeah.
That led to Byron winning the second stage, surprisingly.
2 for 2.
2 for 2.
I was wondering about his sponsor is Ax Alta. Is that the misprint? Is it supposed to say Ask Alta?
Ax Alta.
Ax Alta.
South Phoenix search engine.
Oh.
Yeah, Ax.
We're going to ask that no one send us a mean email for that joke.
Oh. Or do. I don't care.
We don't read them anyway.
Let's see. We had... that was when... Daniel Suarez bumped into Blaney, spitting into Kyle Larson, taking him out of his double for the second time. What was it like it wasn't the Larson 1100, it was like the Larson 560 or something.
So he did get past the 500 mark.
He did at least complete 500 miles total.
Just had to go into 2 races to do it.
2 half races. That's when Denny Hamlin jumped up to the lead. He looked like he had the fastest car so far.
I noticed that Hamlin's sponsor is National Debt Relief. Is that the new name for USAID?
I thought USAID was the opposite of debt relief.
Well, no, debt relief for other nations.
Oh, yeah, that's correct. Everyone else is debt relief.
Yeah, there are debt increase, but debt relief for other people.
Thanks, Congress. Good work, everybody.
Here, we're going to help you relieve some of your debt, Africa. Just say you're using it to study transgender frogs or something.
Perfectly fine with me.
Nobody will question it.
And then here we go. Lucky Lord Byron won his third of 3 stages so far. But don't get too excited.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up, Byron.
One of the next fastest cars, Carson Hocevar, ended up blowing up on lap 308. Running second place. He was running top 5 most of the day. And I guess Amazon doesn't care if you drop an F-bomb live on air.
Amazon hopes you drop the F-bomb live on air.
I'm fine with it. Nobody had to come on and go, oh, we're sorry about the language. We're out there. Nope, they just let it ride.
It's Amazon. Who cares? I notice on 23 to go, Lucky Lord Byron became Super Lucky Lord Byron. Almost got taken out by car spinning in front of him.
That was close.
Yeah. Good reaction time.
At least he's still paying attention after 590 miles.
Kyle Busch would have crashed into him.
He probably did. I just missed it. That's 12 to go when one of the faster cars, Denny Hammy.
Hammy. That's his nickname. He's Hammy.
Okay, that's good. I like it.
Denny Hamlin is Hammy.
He ran out of fuel.
They don't do math in Hammy's pit?
No, it's not important. Maybe they measured the track or something.
How do you run out of fuel? When there's they must have estimated too many cautions, or I don't know.
I don't know.
Don't they have to have a certain amount of fuel left in the car at the end of the race for testing?
No, I don't think so.
That's only for F1.
Yeah. That leads up to lap 6 to go. 6 laps to go. When Lucky Lord Byron was very unlucky and blew the race.
Good job, Byron.
Ross Chastain came from 40th to 1st.
That's in NASCAR. You don't have to start at the front to win the race.
No, just pretty amazing.
I want to back up to the ARCA race. What was up with Cletus McFarlane and this restart carnage?
Looks like the interview after the race, he said he spun the tires. His car got really loose and started waving. It looked like he got into whoever was running inside of him there. Kind of a rookie move, but he did take out enough people to get a top 10 in the race.
That's good for clicks. That's also how I win on e-racing. You take out enough people and you're on the podium.
Yeah, that always works.
Yeah.
Great for video games.
I want a car that I can accidentally spin the tires on.
Oh, yeah, it has to be raining
Yeah.
for me to do it. And
Yeah.
I have to turn off the traction control that's permanently on.
Even my analog F-150 won't spin the tires on accident.
It's probably got the traction control. Well, with this being Amazon's first broadcast, I decided to compare it to Fox's last full broadcast, no rain delays, of the Coke 600 in 2022. Mostly commercials. So Fox had 63 minutes of commercials, full screen commercials during its last broadcast.
Ooh.
Amazon had 9 minutes of full screen commercials. Side by side, Fox had 13 minutes of side-by-side commercials. Amazon had 42 minutes of side-by-side commercials.
Wow.
Total commercials, Fox 193, Amazon 108. So my full conclusion is Fox is awful and Amazon was much better.
Because Air Legacy Media, broadcast, they have to get twice as many commercials to make the same amount of money as streaming.
Amazon's already getting a little bit of a monthly fee from everybody.
Yeah, that helps too.
I think they shouldn't have any commercials, but yeah, what are you going to do? It's better than Fox.
I'm sure, by the time we have children and grandchildren, they'll be able to buy a broadcast permit license for like $50 because nobody will want them anymore.
Yeah, probably.
Let's go to NASCAR best and worst paint jobs for the Coke 600. What was your best one?
A lot of good ones out there. A lot of Memorial Day Stars and Stripes paint schemes. My favorite, I'm going to say Austin Dillon, the number 3 car. He had Bass Pro Shops on there. He had Winchester rifles on there, and the whole thing was a giant American flag. Just a win all around.
That's like 3 strikes you're in. That was pretty good.
Solid.
I went with Priest in the number 60 Irish Spring car because it made me feel clean as a whistle. It was different. Bad?
My least favorite scheme. Everyone who didn't run a Memorial Day scheme, all of you guys suck. But Chris Buescher had like a desert camo black car with. It just didn't work. I don't.
No.
Not great. Just kind of a weird look.
My worst car was Bulicki. Is that how you say his name?
Josh Bulicki?
Yeah, Bulicki. In the number 66 Zero Prostate Cancer car. Listen, if they can't find prostate cancer in the President of the United States, how are they going to save the rest of us from prostate cancer? Come on.
Apparently it's difficult to find.
Yeah. So maybe that's why they need them. Yeah, why are you wasting money on a NASCAR team when you don't even equipment to find prostate cancer? So.
Well, coming up next for NASCAR, they're going to Nashville for the Struggling Musician 400. That sounds like a fun race.
I was there when somebody blew up a car downtown. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that's right.
A few years ago. Yeah, we were flying in, and it had just happened, and there were no cars at the airport because everybody was trying to get the hell out of Nashville. We were coming in, and everybody else was going out.
It's a great time to visit. Was everything closed downtown?
It didn't seem like it, just that one area, which we didn't even get close to, but...
No lines. Sounds nice.
It's a perfect time to go. I took my oldest daughter to London right after the London bombings.
I like your travel strategy.
Yeah.
I think everything will be cleared out and don't have to worry about other people.
Works for me. In other news, English soccer team Tottenham wins the Europa Cup. Their first trophy in 17 years.
Oh, that's depressing.
Yeah. Still, the question is Coach Angie going to keep his job because they finished 17th in the league, barely out of relegation.
Well, you didn't get relegated, so that's a positive.
Yeah.
You brought home a trophy. You win a trophy, I say you get another year.
You get another shot?
They can't possibly be that bad next time. Man United was terrible also.
Yeah.
A lot of weird year for soccer.
You know what, which is a good time for me to explain, how did I pick the Spurs as my soccer team. It happened at the NASCAR race. Do you remember the year when you had the infield spot and a bunch of your high school buddies were there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And between races, they were watching soccer, and they asked me, like, what's your team? And I'm like, I don't know anything about soccer. And they're like, oh, well, you got to pick a team. I'm like, all right. They're like, here. And they showed me, like, all the icons with the names. And I'm like, I'll take the one with the cannon. And they're like, I don't know. That's Fred's team. You got to pick someone, a team that nobody else has. And I'm like, well, did I hear you can pick this one, and this one? And I'm like, I'll take the fighting cock. That sounded cool. So here I am with the Spurs all these years later.
Get a hot spur.
Yeah. That's it for this week. Next week, we have a doubleheader. No, triple.
Triple again.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Formula One goes to Spain. IndyCar goes to Detroit. And NASCAR is always racing. So
yeah, Nashville.
Yeah, you always have at least one race with NASCAR.